Welcome back to Firm Music TV. I'm Justice, and today the setting is Firm Talks, and I have a very special guest in the building with me. She's 21 years of age, and she has dedicated her life to doing selfless acts throughout the US with her organization. And the organization's name is Changes by Day, right?
Correct.
So, Kendaya, for me, please just tell our viewers, for those who don't know, what is Changes by Day?
So, for those of you who don't know, Changes by Day is basically I have volunteers come out and we cook and we buy food, we cook, and we feed the homeless out on the streets.
Okay, so you would say that your mission is to feed the homeless on the streets?
Yes. So, with my, family and friends, they can come out and they support me a lot. So, I would say my mission is to better the community day by day.
And that's good. That's actually a wonderful initiative, and I like what you're doing, and that is why we invited you here on the program.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How long now have you been feeding the homeless people in the community?
So actually my first feeding was the beginning of quarantine, so May 23rd. So we're actually about to be like 2 months because July. Yeah.
Okay. So you're doing it 2 months now. How often do you go out there and help out or feed the homeless people?
So I go twice a week, every Wednesday and every Saturday. Wednesday is more like a lunch vibe, and then Saturday is like dinner.
I would say you got options. Lunch one day, so after breakfast, we need for factory breakfast.
Yes, in the future.
Yeah, man. Don't worry, Insane Legacy will sponsor. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. So you said you have been doing it since the start of COVID.
Yeah.
I know that is actually, I don't know what to call you, because that is very brave of you to be feeding homeless people in COVID-19. You know what I mean? A lot of people everywhere, the whole world is shut down. But here we have you going out there in the streets, connecting with people, and feeding them. How has that experience been for you? Are you scared out there? Like, what is it like?
I mean, at first, yes, I went out there geared up, gloves, goggles, the whole mask. But I mean, as time went by, I just thought to myself, like, they're regular people, I don't go to my family's house masked up, goggled up.
Yeah.
So as time went by, I still wear my gloves, I still have my hand sanitizer on deck, but it's the same.
It's the same?
Yeah, it's the same.
So at any point in time, it doesn't dawn on you like, yo, I'm actually like essential right now because I'm on the front lines of
Yes,
COVID.
when I get home, because I, put my steam on, and then I'm like, I feel like a front line because that's what they have to do.
Yeah, because you're going out there in these communities, you really don't know who has what.
You don't, but that's like us. You go in the restaurant and you don't know who has what. So
That's true.
It's the same. So yeah.
All right. How has the journey been thus far for you? How has the journey been?
I mean, it's been very humbling, rewarding, fulfilling, all those feelings. I actually did not expect to get the much love and support as I'm getting throughout my friends and my family. So it's definitely, I found what I love to do. And I knew that I love to help people and care for others, but now I'm actually implementing it. And
all right. And that's good. So you think it has been very fulfilling for you?
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
To be honest, I've actually been out there with her probably twice.
Yeah.
And the energy is so surreal, the joy that I get from the people is crazy.
Exactly. So
it's also a lot of lessons to be learned from the people. Like the stories are so inspiring. And if it's one thing that I've learned from being out there with you, is gratitude. They have taught me love and gratitude. Because even though they don't have everything going good for them, they still show love, and so much of them showing you embrace and be appreciative of what you have.
Right.
Because it really and truly could be worse.
Exactly. They have no home and they still maintain a smile on their face. So it's just why are we walking around without a smile on our face?
And we've been out there and everybody's like, thank you, God bless you.
Yeah.
These positive words of affirmations is
exactly the best part.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people wouldn't understand, the gratification you can actually get from giving and helping. And it's actually lovely for you to say that, you have found your purpose.
Exactly. Yeah.
What inspired this initiative?
Well, it was a stressful point in my life. You know, I go to school in Ohio, so I got sent down. I got sent back home because of quarantine and Corona, and I had classes online. I knew that I had to take more classes online in the summer. So a lot of my family members saw that I wasn't, I wasn't as energetic as I always am. And my mom, came to me one day and she was like, Kendaya, like, finish up this semester, but don't worry about the summer. Like, you can take those summer classes later. And then I was like, okay, so, but then if I'm not doing anything over the summer and I knew I'm supposed to, take classes in the summer and I'm not doing anything, I would feel guilty. So I just sat back and I'm like,
no, you wanted to.
Right. And what can I do? And like, how can I help, Okay. So I just was like, Mom, one day, like, let's just go shopping and feed the homeless. And then after that, it's just been addicting to the reaction I'm getting from all my family, all my friends, and even the homeless people that I'm feeding,
Oh, the support and the love.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, changes by day. Who came up with that name?
My mom. I can't even lie. Like, my mom came up with that. I was on Instagram asking all my friends, all my family, like, what is the best name? Like my grandma was giving me like ideas, but it was more like a church vibe.
What did grandma come up with?
Like love of faces or faces by, like, it was just like very churchy to me, and I'm like,
so what's wrong with that?
No, we're in 2020. We're not in, love you, grandma. But but yeah, so my mom, she came up with the name, and I loved it because there's just like two different meanings. My name is Kendaya, they call me Day. So I was like, okay, changes by day, I'm actually out here, But then there was also like changes by day. Like, there's a change I'm trying to make
every single day.
Right.
There you go.
Exactly.
Perfect. Like, I believe that you couldn't have, big up mommy. Mommy, you picked like a perfect name for the organization.
Yeah.
And it's a non-profit, right?
It is.
Right?
It is.
Okay. All right. What are some of the challenges that you have faced since you have been, feeding the homeless people and helping out in the community?
I can definitely say when I first started, it was hard to know how much food to buy, how much food to cook that would feed enough people. And then I would also say some days, on rainy days, they're not really out there like how they are on most days. So some days I can feed them in like an hour and a half and be back, but other days it will take probably like 3 hours because I don't come home with any plates. I make sure I give all the plates out. So
about how many plates do you give out on each going?
Oh, each going, I make sure I have 50 plates. So it can be 50 plus. So yeah.
That's good. So you're changing 50 lives every, what's that, Wednesday and Saturday?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. How did you arrive at these spots? Like, how did you find where to go?
Right. So before the first feeding, I spent a week and I went, I researched where are the homeless, like usually in Fort Lauderdale. I would drive around Broward, Sunrise, some Pompano, just like all over. And then it was kind of hard because since COVID happened, a lot of the tent cities, as they will call it, the police would run them away. So they had to move. So the places that I found on Google wasn't necessarily true that day I went. So I spent a week and I found the different locations. I would research.
All right. You mentioned a place named Tent City, right?
Yeah.
Like, I know what it is. And you know what it is. But for our viewers who don't know what Tent City is, please just give them a description of what Tent City is and how people are actually living in America.
So Tent City is one of the locations that I go in Pompano. Basically, it's a bush with two paths, right? It's like a bush, and it goes very far down, and people have their tents right next to each other. It's like kind of like a house community, but just with tents in a bush, and they live in their tent. So
and it's crazy. Like, when I tell you, like, people are actually, like, as you said, living in tents, and it's not the best living conditions for any human being. Like, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Right.
You know what I mean? like surrounded by the tents also is a lot of water. You know, and it's not like any clean water or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's very murky and dirty and stuff like that. So, you know, not only are they not living in good standards, but we have to also think about diseases, you know what I mean? Like around them, airborne, waterborne and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really,
It's just not something you wouldn't. What did you think when you went in there? Because you walked in there.
I walked in there and I was like, it's crazy how some people are actually living, and it actually made me reflect and look into myself, and it's like, yo, as you said earlier, like, why do I have a frown on my face? Like, I have so much to be grateful for.
Right.
Like, as Coffee said in our song, gratitude is a must, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I really have to be grateful. So it's, it's crazy.
It is.
So, I really love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I must say that I love what you're doing, and I must commend you on all your efforts.
Thank you.
And I want you to keep up on the good job that you're doing. I know that sometimes it might get a little bit hard for you, and it's a very tedious thing to do because, you're 21. What are other 21-year-olds doing out there in the world? So I know it's probably a little bit time consuming for you also. And without a doubt, regardless of the pressures that you face, you still keep going. And I don't get it. What motivates Kendaya Chin to keep going?
I would definitely say, so the people I feed are more familiar with me now. So I wouldn't say they expect me, but in my head, I feel like they expect me because I'm there every Wednesday, every Saturday, they get their meal.
Yeah.
So I think
you're like family to them.
Right. And I feel like I'm like, if I don't feed them this day, they don't eat, So therefore, I make sure that I'm there every Wednesday and every Saturday.
So the people keep you going. You feel like you have a responsibility.
Exactly. And the people who volunteered when I had you, it was so fun, so
it was an experience.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yep.
All right. So you say you have been doing the initiative since May 23rd, right? So that's 2 months on the clock. I know you have had great goings and great outings, especially being amongst the people and stuff. What has been your most memorable moment thus far?
There are a lot. There are many,
right,
but I would say, so I would definitely say the most memorable was the first time I did it, right? I did not know what to expect. Who came with me was just my mom, my dad, and my cousin, and my nephew, and just after we were such on a high doing it in the moment, but right when it stopped, we got in the car, everyone was just they all looked at me and was like, wow, that was the best feeling ever. And it was just so rewarding because I was nervous, I didn't know if I was gonna give the plates away, but even to have my family even thank me for stepping up and doing it, that made me feel special way.
What you're doing is truly amazing, and that's why when I saw what you were doing, I was like, yo, I have a little voice in my head was just I need to be a part of this because that is what the real meaning of life is.
Yeah, exactly.
Giving back to the community and helping to better some other people's life.
Exactly.
So you mentioned earlier that you go out on Wednesday and Saturday. You do lunch one day and you do dinner on the other day.
Correct.
I don't know if you're a chef or anything, but who decides the meals? Who prepares the meals and decides the meals that go out on any given day?
Okay, let's get this clear. I'm not a chef, okay? I was whatever. But for the most part, I would say my mom, and I have an aunt in Atlanta who has a food truck. So she, even when I first started, she would give me ideas on how much of what to buy. 40 pounds of chicken can feed this. So it's really my mom and my aunt. And then, I know what can stretch, pasta can stretch. I'm not too new about it, but yeah, so on the most part, my mom and my aunt will tell me what I should cook.
Okay, no problem. So, let me show you how skillful I am now. So, my team and we got intel that you'll be taking changes by day outside of Florida, and you'll be going to Ohio this weekend to give out in Ohio. So tell us, how did this come about?
So I In the future, I do want to bring it to different areas, different cities. Like I mentioned earlier, I go to school in Ohio, so I'm gonna go back to school soon, and I want to continue it. So I wanted to fly out one weekend, do it just to test it. I'm gonna be by myself, no mommy, no daddy. So
for it?
Yeah. So my friends, and which is also the nicest part, they like want to help.
Yeah.
So gonna do the same thing Saturday in Ohio. Friday morning I get there. Friday afternoon I'm gonna drive around and see the different locations and do it from there.
And it's lovely, and I wish you well, and I hope you have a great time out there doing it.
Thank you.
And I hope the people are very appreciative of what you're doing in Ohio.
Right.
All right. So, what is next for the Changes by Day team? What's next?
So, when I first started, it was just a humble, you know what I mean? Like I didn't expect it, but now I realize that I want to, like, there's a lot of organizations that go out and feed the homeless. So I want to do something different, be it something like incorporate something different that other organizations don't. So I had a chance to interview one of the homeless, and he was telling me the different difficulties of a day. So he was telling me how using the bathroom, showering, those are the worst days.
Yeah, because they don't live anywhere,
with the bathroom. No.
Yeah.
So I've been looking into, renting, or looking into, there are mobile showers. So it's like a RV type thing, but it's like showers. So that's my main goal right now is, renting mobile showers so they can shower.
And that's actually like a good thing. Like if you didn't see the problem, but you heard the problem from the people.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're like a little politician.
Yeah, I'm the insight.
Exactly. So you heard the problem. They say, they're having problems showering and getting freshed up and stuff like that. And you want to bring portable showering out there to them.
Yeah, that's my goal.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I hope it works out for you, and I know it will, because you're very, you believe in what you're doing.
Right,
and you're
right.
passionate about it. So I know
Thank
it will
you.
go far.
Thank you.
All right. So before we wrap up, I wanted to leave them with, in about 1 or 2 sentences, just some advice you would tell people watching this video, from stuff that you have learned being on your quest. 1 or 2 sentences, nothing too dangerous.
I would say find what you love to do. What makes you happy? We all know what the things that make us happy and the things that make us sad. We all know that. So the things that make you happy, use your resources to see how you can expand that, So I would definitely say, in life, do what makes you happy.
And you couldn't say it any better. Couldn't say it any better. All right, so we're wrapping up now. It's been a lovely conversation. I really enjoyed having you here on FirmTalks. I wish to see you again soon.
Of course.
You're doing big things.
Of
Don't
course.
forget about us here at FirmTalks. You know what I mean? But before we close out, just tell the people, if they're interested in helping you, if they're interested in donating, where people can follow you and where people can get access to Kendaya Chin and Changes by Day.
So you can find me and follow me on Instagram at Kendaya, KENDAYA, Chin, CHINN _. And I have all the information in my bio, and feel free to message me if you want to come out and help.
Don't think it's a personal message, because you say it a while ago. If you want to message me, just DM me. No, so we're dealing with business. So remember, she's accepting donations of money,
time, food, right.
So everything is there. So just follow her up, Kendaya Chin on Instagram. And thanks
Thank you for having me. Thank you for reaching out. It's been a pleasure. I thank you for even coming out, donating your time once again.
It's really a pleasure, and I really look forward to doing more work with you.
Yep.
So thanks to everybody watching.
Thank you.
I hope you really enjoyed this talk. Big up to our sponsors, Empress and Rocks, Legacy Light and Sound. Big up my bad producer, Key Mexes, for making it always happen. And we're out.